What's up, guys? So welcome back. We're going to do a frequent asked question video here, and also some tips and tricks on the new server for North America and South America. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you everything to do, because if I do tell you everything to do, then that market or that economy just completely crashes. So I will give you some tips, tricks, and things like that, but let's go into the frequently asked questions, and there will be some tips and tricks sprinkled throughout this video as well as we are processing lumber. So first up, a couple questions about land, and it's like, do you want land? And the answer is yes, you obviously want land, and like land is the most valuable thing in the game, especially early on right now. Labor potions are still quite affordable in my opinion. They're going to go down probably in value because we have two servers with two different land pools, right? So there's a lot of land that could be generating labor. So labor at 5.7, I think this is still kind of on the high end. Like, it will get cheaper over time as more houses come up and then more people sell their labor potion. But it started off, why I think it started off so cheap is because of the roulette wheel on the website. So you could spam the roulette wheel 100 times spins a day, and it costs you 10 BSLT each, to try and get gold and other resources out of the roulette wheel to potentially win 100,000 BSLT. And so people are trying that, spinning, and they're getting these, and that is all, putting the price of these guys down. Like, 100 spins, you get about 10 of those labor potions at 100 spins. So this right here, this labor potion times 10, that's most likely somebody who did 100 spins on the roulette wheel and is now selling his labor. So also, any items out of the roulette wheel are going to be very, very cheap. So right now, the lucky scrolls, which are only to reroll the stats on your weapons. So the lucky artisan scroll will work on tier 4 weapons. The conqueror's lucky scroll, I believe, will work on tier 5 weapons. So they don't work on tier 4 weapons. And then the next higher one, there is a illustrious lucky scroll. So this is going to be for tier 6 weapons or armor. So these all work for weapons or armor, right? So that's what these guys do. These are not upgrade scrolls. They do not like upgrade your gear. They just allow you to reroll your substats. So you can see here's the bow that we have. And obviously the stats are terrible. It's rear melee attack damage rate 1.3% and magic critical damage rate plus 3.3%. As an archer, you don't use any of those. That's terrible. But it is a blue stat, which is a rare stat. So those are really, really rare. There's like 1 in 100 or like 1 in 200 to get one of these, and then to get both of them as rare stats, like the odds are astronomical to have both stats as rare, unless you re-roll tons and tons of times with these scrolls. But we just picked it. We bought this off the auction house. Like, I didn't roll this, and that's the gist of it. One of the biggest tips is like, equipment that you want is going to be way cheaper on the auction house than making it yourself. So always just go shopping, look for things, and buy good deals on the auction house. So another question that we get all the time is what to do as a landowner. Like, what should I be planting? Well, the supply and demand aspect of the game always changes everything. But as of now, scion is the most expensive crop that is out there. So like 0.08 is the best for scion, and then log is 0.06, and then I do lump because ore brings up another thing, so 0.04. So you can see the scion is priced the most. So if you type in ore, you get savory flavored grain, which then you can't see the ores. So you have to get used to the auction house and learn how to type in keywords and things like that to find the items that you want. So for example, Archeum. This is another question. It's like, oh, I can't see Archeum. Why can't I see the Archeum sales? Like, these are the shards. And as a free-to-play player, so a question here is, what do we do with these Archeum shards? Like, where can I process it? As a free-to-play player, you cannot process the Archeum shards. Your whole goal as a free-to-play player is to sell the Archeum shards as soon as possible to get the BSLT. Like, these were a lot more expensive in the last couple of days. You can see the prices just cratered down because as more and more free-to-play players are farming these items from the rifts and from coin purses, then these prices are going to decrease. Once all the houses get built and all the Archeum machines are processing and ready to go and upgraded, then this price might go up, right? So on the Asian server, these guys are 0.002 or 0.0022. So they're a little bit more expensive on the Asian server. But in the beginning of the game, a stack of these guys on the Asian server was 1 BSLT. So it was a stack of 5,000 incomplete Arcane shards for 1 BSLT. So it was 0.0001. So an extra 0 and then a 1 on these guys. Or 0.0002. Like, these things were incredibly cheap on the server for the first couple of weeks. They were so cheap that what you were doing is you were buying them and you were selling them for gold, because you run out of gold if you do any like buying and selling. Like, you can see, we're selling a bunch of items on the auction house, right? And so listing these items, it costs you gold. So if we list something for 500 BSLT, you can see the registration fee is going to end up costing us gold. And as a free-to-play player, you'll be fine. But if you're a landowner, you're going to start running out of gold. You can see we bought all of the gold that we could from the game. We bought all the starter packages, and we're still now down to 427 gold. Like, we're going to be running out of gold in a couple of days. So we're going to have to figure out how to earn gold as a landowner. So that's going to be another process that I personally have to figure out myself. What's the best way to earn gold in-game? So right now it's looking just like daily quests, right, are the best way to earn gold. But yeah, so as a free-to-play player, again, you're supposed to sell the Archeum shards. And to find Archeum, the completed Archeum, what I do is I type in Archeum, and then I go over here to the tabs, and I go to Consumables, and then I click on Tool. And then that, you search again, and it'll bring up all of the Archeum that is tradable. So if you're looking for the Archeum price, you can see a 5,000 is about 47. So that's still very, very expensive. And this is why the number one thing for a landowner is not necessarily crops, but it's to get your house down, to get your bed going, to generate the free labor points, and then also to put down your Archeum machine and to start feeding it the Archeum shards to make Archeum. And whether you use that for your character or whether you sell it is completely up to you. But most people are going to end up selling it, and you can see the price of this has also just started to go down as well, pretty significantly. A little bit of trading volume is increasing as well, because people are now upgrading their gear. We have our first person who is actually upgraded to tier 5 weapons. So we can go over to the rankings and we can take a look at that. So we have Arena, which this is also very important. So this is one of the reasons why you want to rush to gear score 13,000. So Arena, you get rewards every single week, and the rewards are really good. So first place is going to get 2,500 BSLT. Second and third place both get 1,200 BSLT. Fourth and fifth place get 800 BSLT. All the way down to rank 100, who ends up making 30 BSLT. So, and that's weekly. Every week, the top Arena players are going to get money. They're going to get paid, baby. So if you are good at 1v1, or even if you are just, high gear score in the first couple of weeks, you're going to get into the Arena rankings for free, and you're going to be able to cash in on these rankings. Right now, we have 2 people only on the rankings, and you can see they tell you it's going to end on 427 at 00. So, UTC 00 427 is the end time, it looks like. And yeah, and it's going to reset every week. It doesn't matter if there's no one on there or not. They're still going to pay out. The same thing with the gear rankings. So why gear up? Like, for one, you need to gear up and you need to level up, because there's this invalidity. And if you are low level or your gear is low level, you're going to be seeing a lot of invalid, and you're not going to be hitting the monster. So you have to level up your gear. You have to level up your character as well. The max level for a free-to-play is 55. And after level 50, once you've done all your quests, you're generally going to be grinding mobs nonstop. So you can grind, in a party, fight for ancestral mobs over in Halsey. That is another big question. Everyone asks where to grind the ancestral mobs in the game. The easy ones, right? So the easy ones are in Halcyona, and you have your community center over here, and then it's over here at this snake scale den. So this is the area that has ancestral level 1 mobs, level 2 mobs, and level 3 mobs. The easiest ancestral level mobs in the game. So this is where you'll see people start gathering. Small groups are going to be there farming, and you get good loot out of there. So that is a good spot to farm. And you can see the leaderboards too. So leaderboards is also very interesting, right? The leaderboards does not automatically update. In order to get put onto the leaderboards, you have to opt into the system. You have to go to the community center and you have to pay them 1,000 Archeum, and it puts your character on the leaderboards wherever your gear score is. So if your gear score is 13,000, you would go to the community center, you would give them 1,000 Archeum, and you would register, and you would get placed in the leaderboards. So if you don't want other people to know what kind of gear and what your character has and all that, you don't have to go on to the leaderboards. So it's a completely optional system. So there is more players that are stronger than this. But if you scroll down, you can see the top 100 players is only up to like 11.5. So yeah, 11.3. And the reason that you want to actually put yourself on the leaderboards is you get rewards. So once again, every week there will be a payout. The first person is going to get 800 BSLT. Second and third place are going to get 400 BSLT. And so forth, as you can see the payout. As you go down all the way to rank 100, it's going to be 30 BSLT. So just being in the top 100 gets you 30 BSLT, and it goes up and up and up as you get higher in the rankings. So if you do have a higher gear score than most of these people, you do want to actually go ahead and register and put yourself on the leaderboard so you can get paid for that weekly payout. All right? So another big question is, can you actually earn as a free-to-play player? And the answer to this is yes, you can earn as a free-to-play player. Even today, the economy is really, really good for free-to-play players. So you're going to be farming, rifts generally, but right now coin purses, the noble coin purses, are actually really, really good, because when you open them, you actually get 2 valuable items that are selling really good right now. So you get infusions, you get the basic white infusions, and these guys are selling for 0.03, 0.04, around that range. But you get one almost every single coin purse. So almost every single time you open a coin purse, you're going to generally get an infusion, and you can sell that. So what I did calculate is, like, if I spend 6 labor points to open up the noble coin purse, and about, we'll say 50% of the time you get one of these infusions, so that means you need to open 100 of them, and you're going to get 50 infusions. And if you sell them at 0.03, that means you've made 1.5 BSLT right there, like for just 600 labor points, just on the infusions alone. But you also get Stone of Rifts. You get these guys. You get Faint Rift Stones. So once again, 0.04. You also get skill books. So the skill books are like 0.02 or 0.03. So like just farming the basic coin purses, you can get some BSLT. And then with the labor potions being pretty cheap, once you get enough BSLT, I'd recommend to buy a labor potion and then just, open up more stuff. The Rift coin purses and the Rift boxes that you get from the Rift mobs are going to be better. But if you're a solo player and you're like, I don't know what to do, go just open up basic noble coin purses. Those are the coin purses you get from level 41, and you'll be able to sell the loot there, right? So you'll be able to make your first couple BSLT. So it is possible as a free-to-play player to earn in this game. You do want to make sure that you do your daily quests. Another question a lot of people ask is the Arc Pass worthwhile? And I personally believe so. You can see we have our Arc Pass unlocked, and we done level 5 now. And part of the reason why it's so good is because it's a staking system. So you're going to get all of this back. This 1,000 BSLT that we put into the game to unlock the Arc Pass, you're going to get it back once you finish this, and you get all these rewards. So the main rewards that you get on this current Arc Pass is you get these 2 blue shadow guns, which are about 100 BSLT each. So that's 200 BSLT, plus all these other items in here as well. So you figure in that's probably about another 100 BSLT worth of items. So you're looking at about 300 BSLT, give or take, of profit for 14 days. And on top of it, these quests actually give gold, which is very important for me, and also give XP. So it gives 9,000 XP, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that helps you level up and get your character up there. So all the XP is always welcome, right? And XP is, is going to be valuable, especially as a paying player when you can go and start selling XP. Because once you get to ancestral level 1, you can then sell your XP. You can make XP potions. All right. So another question is the game region locked? The game is not region locked. You can play from anywhere. Some like countries and cities might have some restrictions and everything, but the game is not region locked. And you can play it from anywhere. There are a lot of players that are playing from like Asian regions. Like the number 1 player is actually from somewhere over there, like probably Asian area, because he was actually the number 1 player in the Asian server. Sizamon, I think that's how you say his name. So Sizamon was number 1 player in the Asian server. He's featured in some of my old videos on the Asian server as well. Yeah, he was the top dog over there for some time. So I would assume that he is an Asianish player. Another question we get a lot is about ping. Like, we don't know where the server is. They're not going to tell us where the server is. So all that we have to go on is it's somewhere in North America and South America. And ping does affect archers significantly. So if you're not from the North America or South America region, I do not recommend you to play an archer, because archer is ping based. Like, so your arrows are going to shoot faster if you have better ping. And it doesn't matter if you actually use ping boosters or, lag reducers or any kind of like programs like that. It's still not going to be as fast as someone that is actually in America or South America. Like, it will improve it, right? It'll be better, but it's not going to be where you want it to be. So if you're not playing from the North America or South America region and you do want to play Archworld, I would recommend a different class, a mage or melee or healer. Like, those classes are less ping dependent than archer. So archer is a very, very ping dependent class. All right, so another big question that everyone asks is where to level after level 50. I think we touched upon this a little bit, but you're simply going to be grinding mobs. Some of the best areas to grind mobs, though, is in Rockborn Basin, and it's around this area over here. There's some elites, and then it's also around this area over here, which are some elites as well. The reasons you go after elites is because they give about 500 XP per kill, and they're not that hard to kill because these are level like 41 or 42 elites. So elites just mean they have a bigger HP bar, which is another question people ask all the time. So obviously there's tons and tons of more questions, but let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. I do not know everything. I personally have played Archworld since the alpha, so I do know a lot about this game, but they do constantly change it every single week. There's patches. And just like in this last week's patch, they lowered the gear score requirement to get into the arena to 13,000 from 14,000. And they also changed the crops. So now there's 4-hour crops, there's 8-hour crops, there's 24-hour crops. So they're always constantly updating and changing the game. And in order to keep tabs on this, you can subscribe to the channel here. I'll try and get you all the latest and greatest information that comes out. But also check the official website and the official Discord. Archewolrd.com has lots of great information on there. Please research and check it out. It's very, very important, especially if you are trying to be an investor. You always got to do your own research. And then also the Discord has contests and events. So there's some contests and events that are going on right now. The people that reach ancestral level 1, they're going to share 20,000 BSLT. The people that get over, I think it's 13,000 gear score, are going to share 20,000 BSLT. The people that do an ARC pass and start up the ARC pass, they're going to share 20,000 BSLT after 2 weeks. So there's all kinds of events and contests that are going on, that some of them are for free-to-play players and some of them are for paid players. So you just have to, check the Discord and see. I think there's a land event going on, like if you do some Twitch streaming or some social media like sharing type things, like hashtags, right? I think there is an event that like you could potentially win land. So check the Discord for the events and contests, and a lot of them again are free, so you don't have to do anything. You just maybe share a post or like a post or do something like that. Anyway, also, what's one big last question? Where to actually get the Archeum that you were supposed to in the beginning of the game? So all the items, the pre-registration items, are on your account already. You simply have to go into blue salts and you got to go down to coupon. Coupon is where you'll get all of your items in your pre-registration awards. So you'll need to sign up, you log in, and then go down to coupon. And you get to disregard this, enter coupon number, that's nothing. So you're going to go down, you're scroll down, you're going to select your character, and you're going to have items right here if you haven't claimed them. So if you pre-registered, you're going to have 1,000 Archeum. You might have some other things if you got some referrals and got some friends to sign up. So this is where it would be. It would be down here where it says no history found. And you would select those, and then you would submit it, use coupon, and boom. So again, if you have any other questions or comments, please let me know. Love to hear from you guys. Let me know, what character level are you guys? How are you doing? Are you having fun? Have you got any BSLT yet? Are you earning? If you have any questions at all, please post them down below. Love to hear from you guys. Helps out the channel, which also helps out the game. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching as always, and